Hello there, welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Samantha and this is my channel where I talk all about books. Anyway, today I'm coming to you with a very exciting video because today I'm coming to you with my TBR for the Bookoplathon, which is basically a Monopoly themed readathon created by Becca from Becca and the Books. Basically every month for the past 3 years, I think, she chooses her TBR using a Bookopoly board. So a Monopoly board, but all of the spaces are bookish prompts. So she uses that to build her TBR. And so the Bookoplathon is the same thing, except she created a specific board for the Bookoplathon, and it is for the whole month of September. That's basically all you need to know. So yes, I'm taking part again. I took part last year in September and I really enjoyed myself. It was a great time, and so I'm very excited to take part again this year. Hopefully I can be successful in completing my TBR, but last year I didn't have anything going on. In fact, for most of the readathon, I was living alone because I had moved into my uni house before my housemates, and I had no Wi-Fi and nobody around, so I spent a lot of time reading. But this time I have a part-time / full-time job, so I don't know how much reading I'm gonna get done. But hopefully the board is kind to me. Except I've already done my rolls and the board was not kind to me, but spoilers. I've actually already filmed my rolls and going around the board, and for some reason, instead of screen recording rolling the dice, because I used a dice generator online on my phone, instead of screen recording that, I used my camera to film my phone like an idiot, because for some reason I forgot about screen record on my phone. It's a bit shaky for the dice rolls, so I'm sorry about that, but I did screen record moving around the board because I couldn't print out the board, so that looks fine. It's just that rolling the dice doesn't look too great. But anyway, let's get into roll number 1, shall we? So for roll number 1, I landed on a small book, so that's a book under 300 pages. And for that one, I have chosen to read Blackout by Danielle Clayton, Tiffany D. Jackson, Nick Stone, Ashley Woodfolk, Angie Thomas, and Nicola Yoon. This is a collection of 6 short stories that take place in New York City during a blackout. It's very short, it's like 250 pages. And a friend of mine lent this to me, and I put this on my August TBR and I still haven't read it. So yes, I am going to be reading it in September for sure because I'm putting it on my Bookopoly TBR. Also, I need to get back to her because it's been like over a month since she lent this to me, so I need to read this and get this back to her. I'm actually meeting up with her next week, so I need to read it this week before I meet up with her so I can give it back to her. But yes, this is my first book on the TBR, so this one's actually not bad, you know? This is quite nice. It's short, it's gonna be a quick read. She told me she read it in a few hours after work one day. So yeah, I'm really excited to read this one, and I know it's gonna be a pretty quick read, so that's good. So time for roll number 2. So my second roll was a double, which means we have to add a roll. So I was gonna do 5 rolls originally, but now I have to do 6 because I rolled a double. So for roll number 2, we landed on a hyped book. I had a few options for this one, but ultimately I decided to go for Firekeeper's Daughter by Angeline Boulley because I put a hold on this at my library in July because I was supposed to be reading it in August for the Enneagram readathon, but it just didn't come through, and it finally came through. So I actually have to go pick it up from the library today. But I need to read this one in September because I was waiting such a long time for it, and it's very popular right now, so I'm not going to have much time with it. So once I get it, I have to read it within 3 weeks, so I must read this one. And I don't really know that much about this one. All I know is that it's a young adult mystery, and that's all I want to know. All right, time for roll number 3 of 6. So for roll number 3, we landed on myth / lore / legend / fairy tale, so it can be any of those things. And so for that one, I'm going to be reading And I Darken by Kirsten White. I don't really know very much about this book. I bought this book years ago because it was supposed to be for a book club that I was running. We were supposed to read it, but unfortunately the book club kind of dissolved. I think that was back in 2016, so I've owned this for 5 years. 5 years, oh my god. But this is a Vlad the Impaler retelling, I think. So I think that kind of goes in with like the legend aspect. But anyway, I really want to get this off my TBR because it's been hanging over me for 5 years, so I'm putting it on the TBR. Time for roll number 4. For roll number 4, we landed on Last Color, which means that I have to read a book which has the same color on the cover as the previous book. So this book is kind of black with some red on it. And so the one that I chose was The Winner's Curse by Maria Rutkowski, another book which has been on my TBR since 2016. This kind of has a similar kind of color scheme with black and it's kind of like a pinky red, kind of like a raspberry type color. I'd say the main color on this one is black and this one's kind of the same. Like most of this is black. So I'm counting it and I want to get both of these books off my TBR, so I'm making myself read them this month. Time for roll number 5. It should be our penultimate roll, but let's see, shall we? And of course, on roll number 5, we rolled a double, which means now we're reading 7 books this month. For roll number 5, we landed on Last Letter, First Letter, which means basically the title of the next book has to start with the last letter of the previous book's title. So the last letter in The Winner's Curse is of course an E. So for this one, I've chosen a book that I actually have to read, so that's perfect. And it's called Electric Love by Shannon O'Connor. This author actually sent me this book to review and I haven't got to it yet because I was on holiday, so I wasn't really reading, but I did say that I would get a review up pretty quickly. So I really need to get to this one. So it's perfect because also I didn't have any other books that started with an E apart from Emma by Jane Austen, which I'm not in the mood for right now. So this is perfect. This is just a new adult second chance romance, so I'm excited to get to that. I have to read that as well, so that's great. Moving on to our first additional roll, roll number 6. Roll number 6, we landed on Most Recent Purchase, which is amazing because I really want to read this book. I actually didn't buy this book. I won it in a giveaway from the Krusty Club Book Club. They had a 1-year anniversary giveaway and I was lucky enough to win. So thank you so much to the Krusty Club Book Club. I got to choose the book that I wanted and this book is just, I've wanted it ever since I read another book by this author last month. So, you know, it's only been a month's time, but I needed this book, and that book is The Alice Network by Kate Quinn. I recently read The Rose Code. It's one of my new favorite books of all time, I think. Definitely my favorite book of the year that I've read so far. I loved it. And I've been meaning to read this book for years, actually. When I won the giveaway, I was like, I know exactly what book I want to own, and it's this one. This is a World War I historical fiction, I think, but it's set in a dual timeline like The Rose Code. The Rose Code had dual timeline. It was great. This goes between 1915 and 1947, and I can't remember what it's about, but I'm so excited for it. So excited for it. So I'm really excited that I landed on this prompt. It's time for our last roll. Hopefully, we'll see. Roll number 7. And roll number 7 was not a double, so that was our last roll. So our last roll was to read a TBR vet, which basically just means a book that's been on your TBR for years. I have many of those. I've already covered some in this TBR, which have been on there for years. Sorry, you're getting editing, Samantha, because I said a completely different book in the video, and I changed my mind. So I'm going to be reading Before the Devil Breaks You by Liv Bray for this one, because for a couple of reasons. First of all, I started reading the Diviners series in 2015 or 16, a long time ago, and I still haven't finished it. I even reread the first and second book in preparation for the third and fourth book. Still haven't read them. So yeah, I'm going to be listening to the audiobook for the third book, Before the Devil Breaks You, so I can finally finish King of Crows and finish the Diviner series in October. That is my new goal. And also I didn't have any audiobooks on this TBR, and I realized that I could be listening to way more audiobooks because I work now, so I can listen while I'm getting ready and stuff like that. Anyway, not important, but for this one, I'm choosing Before the Devil Breaks You. But yeah, that's my TBR for the Bookoplathon. It was a little bit mean to me. I didn't want 2 doubles, but I got 2 doubles, but you know what? It's fine. It all seems doable. Hopefully, I have been in such a reading mood recently, so hopefully I can do it. I also read on my breaks at work, so even when I'm working, I can read on my break. Anyway, that is all for my TBR. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give a thumbs up. If you're new here, feel free to subscribe down below. And if you are taking part in the readathon, please let me know your TBR down below. Feel free to link your video and I'll go and check it out. But yeah, I hope you all have a wonderful Bookoplathon. If you're not taking part, just a wonderful month in general. That's all. So I'll see you very soon with another video. Bye.